boom, boom, boom. Sooners got themselves something that they needed, an offensive lineman. They added to the roster by picking up former 4-star and Joe Moore award-winning offensive line participant, Geirean Hatchett. He is now a Sooner. He has just put out a commitment graphic with Hayes Fawcett, and now it's all over social media. So we got to talk about Geirean and talk about how him, the Hatchet, as well as hopefully the brother could potentially show up, make some magic happen. So let's dive into what Geirean gives to Oklahoma going forward. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank y'all for pulling up to the channel. Y'all know what it is. We're going to talk about Mr. Hatchet, what we get out of him coming to Oklahoma. The former offensive lineman from the University of Washington picks Oklahoma over a slew of other schools that were interested. And he'll come in here with 2 years left of eligibility. He was part of the 2020 class. And so with 2 years left, Oklahoma's picked him up somebody that's going to be very useful for what we're trying to do. So let's dive into Geirean. So, as y'all know, let's look at the measurables. 6'4", 303 pounds. Man, he played at Washington. Like I said, he was part of that 2020 class. He played 13 games in 2022 and started 4 games here in 2023 for Washington. Has over 200 and something snaps. He is dealing with some injuries throughout the season, but played in some big games. Also played against Texas in the playoffs. And so he was one of the rotational players in that Joe Moore award-winning line there at Washington. And so Oklahoma picks up a guy that's got some experience, right? One of those players that we know that Bill Beatonbow likes, that he can groom, grow, and help build into something bigger. But the good thing is Geirean has 2 years left of eligibility. And that to me is probably the most important piece to all of this, because the one thing Oklahoma does need is a little bit of experience, but they don't need too many dudes out here trying to take everybody else's jobs, right? We got a lot of young players that we want to see on the field, but it's always good to have experience to help with, having depth and because attrition is going to happen. But the beauty of it is that Mr. Hatchett's going to give you guys something that you've been wanting. A guy with starts at the Power 5 level, that's played in the playoffs, and knows how to get it done. As I mentioned before, he's dealt with some injuries or whatnot, but he's got a good motor. The one thing about him I saw within some of his numbers and stuff, he can block on the run. And if there's one complaint that we've had or issue that we've dealt with here at Oklahoma, it's been everybody's been asking about run blocking. I think he can do that. And so Beatonbow picked up a guy, put a little note in the little brother's ear. We just heard that his little brother, Landon, had decided to return back to Washington. But that doesn't mean that it's forever. I mean, there's that spring window that's still going to come up. He's probably going to finish out the semester, make another decision at that point if he enters the portal. We're going to go after him because it's always great to get the brothers, right? Landon is younger. He's got more years of eligibility. He's got at least 3 years of eligibility, if not 4, while Geirean comes in here with 2 left because he is going into his 5th year. But overall, this is what Oklahoma needed. We needed some depth. We needed a big dude. We needed a dude that's played at a school where he's contributed to something meaningful. And here you go. They played in the national championship. They beat Texas, which is always fun. Horns down. And he also participated on a Joe Moore award-winning line. That's huge. And so with our guy, Sherrone Moore, former Sooner offensive lineman, taking the Michigan job when Jim Harbaugh left, we're all waiting to see if many Michigan players hit the portal as well. I don't see it because of how late in the game it's gotten, but that spring window still hits and you never know what's available. Those are more Joe Moore award-winning lines, but Sherrone Moore may keep them. He's done a good job and he's an offensive line coach. He'll hang on. But being able to snatch up a guy from Washington who's from that area too, as a grad transfer, that's huge for what Oklahoma is trying to do. And so like I mentioned, if you look at the class that we just brought in, I've talked about this ad nauseum. The class we brought in this 2024 Garret gold standard recruiting class, they addressed 2 sides, offensive and defensive line. And we took majority of our players from those 2 positions. And so because of that, our goal is to make sure we fortify that line, get guys in here that we can grow with, and guys that can play long term. So I'm stoked to decide we brought another dude in from Washington. I mean, that adds with Heath Uzeda, who's also from the Washington area, as well as Josiah Wagner, who's also from Washington. We're starting to extend up there into the Pacific Northwest and getting some players that come from there. So that's our guy. Hop in the comments. Let your boy know your thoughts, how you feel about this pickup. I know everybody was anticipating this transfer. We've been waiting. I had heard that it was a done deal. We were just waiting for the details to come down the line, and boom, guess what happened? Details popped up for y'all. Made it this far, like the content, hit the like button. New to the channel, subscribe. Love y'all to join this family of college football fans. Y'all know we talking a lot of OU football and college football in general. Having a blast, do it. Make sure you check out the other channel, the Sooner or Later Sports Show. We're moving all the clips over to there. We'll slowly transition everything from this channel to there. It's in the description below, as well as popped up here across the top. Go sub to that channel as well, so that we can you'll see all the clips from the live streams, and we may move the lives there. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But besides that, YouTube says check out one of these videos. Highly recommend it because I made it for you. And we will talk soon. Peace.